Most people believe their life will change because of one big opportunity, one lucky moment, or one powerful breakthrough. But the truth is much quieter than that. Real transformation doesn't come from dramatic moments. It comes from something much smaller, much less exciting, and much more powerful, a habit. And if you master this one habit, your life will change forever. The habit is simple to understand, but incredibly difficult to practice. It is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. That's it. Not when you're motivated. Not when everything is going well. Not when you feel inspired, but especially when you don't, because the reality is that motivation is unreliable. Some days you wake up feeling powerful, energized, and ready to conquer the world. But many days you don't. Many days you feel tired, distracted, uncertain, and if your success depends on motivation, then your success will always be temporary. The people who change their lives understand something that most people never learn. They stop negotiating with their feelings. Your mind will always look for comfort. It will always look for the easy option, the extra hour of sleep, the endless scrolling, the delay that turns into another day, another week, another year. Comfort is seductive because it feels harmless in the moment, but comfort compounds just like discipline does. Every time you choose the easier path, you quietly train your brain to avoid difficulty. And over time, your life becomes smaller. But the opposite is also true. Every time you choose the harder thing, the workout you didn't want to do, the work you wanted to avoid, the conversation you were afraid to have, you build a different kind of identity. You start becoming someone who follows through. And identity is everything. Most people try to change their life by changing their goals. They say, I want to be successful. I want to be confident. I want to be disciplined. But goals don't change you. Actions do. If every day you prove to yourself that you can do difficult things, something powerful begins to happen. Your brain starts collecting evidence. Evidence that you are reliable. Evidence that you can trust yourself. Evidence that you are not the person who quits when things get uncomfortable. And confidence isn't something you think your way into. Confidence is built through kept promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll do something and you follow through, even when it's hard, you strengthen the most important relationship in your life. The relationship you have with yourself. Think about how many people are walking around with broken trust in themselves. They say they'll start tomorrow. They say they'll wake up early. They say they'll work on their goals. And then tomorrow comes and nothing changes. After enough broken promises, something dangerous happens. You stop believing yourself. Quiet voice inside your head starts whispering, what's the point? You never follow through anyway. But mastering this one habit, doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it, slowly repairs that trust. And when you trust yourself, everything changes. Your discipline grows stronger, your confidence grows deeper, your focus becomes sharper, you stop waiting for perfect conditions, you stop waiting for inspiration, you stop waiting for someone to save you, you start moving, and movement creates momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. A single disciplined action might not seem like much today, one workout, one focused hour of work, one difficult task completed, but small actions repeated every day become unstoppable over time. A year from now, the person who mastered this habit will look completely different from the person who didn't. Not because they were smarter, not because they were more talented, but because they showed up when it was inconvenient, when it was boring, when nobody was watching. The world often celebrates the highlight reel, the success, the recognition, the visible results. But the real story happens in the quiet moments, the early mornings when you choose growth over sleep, the evenings when you choose progress over distraction, the moments when your mind tells you to quit and you decide to continue anyway. This is where lives are built. This is where futures are created. And once you master this habit, something extraordinary happens. Life becomes simpler, not easier, but simpler. Because you no longer waste energy debating with yourself. You no longer sit in endless cycles of procrastination and guilt. You just act. You do the thing that needs to be done. Over time, this habit doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you are. You become the person who shows up, you become the person who finishes, you become the person who moves forward regardless of how you feel. And when that happens, your life stops being controlled by moods, circumstances, or distractions. It becomes controlled by you. So if there is one habit worth mastering in this lifetime, It is this: do the hard things consistently. Do them when you feel motivated. Do them when you feel tired. Do them when progress feels invisible. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are quietly building the future version of yourself. And one day you will look back and realize that your life didn't change because of one huge moment. It changed because of hundreds of small moments where you chose growth instead of comfort. Master that habit, and everything else begins to follow. Most people believe that success belongs to the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most gifted individuals. They look at high achievers and assume those people were simply born different. But if you look closely, talent and intelligence are rarely the real reasons people succeed or fail. The truth is much simpler and much more uncomfortable. Most people struggle in life because they never learn to control their daily habits and their attention. Every single day, your life is quietly shaped by the small decisions you make. The moment you wake up, the way you spend your time, where you direct your focus, and how you respond to distractions. These choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but they slowly build the direction of your entire future. The modern world is designed to steal your attention. Notifications, endless scrolling, constant entertainment, and instant gratification are always waiting for you. It has never been easier to waste hours without even realizing it. Days disappear into distractions, and weeks pass by without meaningful progress, not because people are lazy or incapable, but because they never learned how to guard their attention. Attention is one of the most valuable resources you have. Wherever your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is constantly scattered, your progress will also be scattered. If your attention is focused on things that actually matter, your growth becomes almost inevitable. Habits play a powerful role in this process. Habits are the automatic behaviors that shape your daily routine without requiring much thought. If your habits are weak, inconsistent, and driven by comfort, your results will reflect that. If your habits are intentional and aligned with growth, they quietly build a stronger version of you over time. The problem is that most people try to change their life through motivation rather than structure. They wait for the perfect moment to start. They promise themselves that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow rarely looks different when the habits remain the same. Real progress begins when a person stops leaving their life to chance and starts taking control of how they spend their time and energy. When you become aware of your habits and learn to direct your attention toward meaningful work, everything starts to shift. Productivity improves, discipline strengthens, and opportunities begin to appear where there was once stagnation. Life doesn't change overnight, but when you control your habits and protect your attention, the small improvements you make each day slowly compound into something extraordinary. Over time, those small choices become the difference between a life that drifts and a life that moves forward with purpose. There is a moment that appears in everyone's life almost every single day. A quiet moment where you know exactly what you should do, but another voice inside you suggests something easier. That voice tells you to delay the task, to take a break, to start tomorrow instead. In that moment, a small decision is being made, and most people don't realize how powerful it is. Because the habit that truly changes a person's life is learning to consistently choose the uncomfortable action that moves them forward. Growth has always lived on the other side of discomfort. The things that improve your life are rarely the things that feel easy in the moment. Waking up earlier than you want to, starting work when your mind wants to procrastinate, exercising when your body feels tired, sitting down to learn when distractions are calling your name. These actions are not exciting or glamorous. In fact, they often feel inconvenient and difficult. This is exactly why they matter. Most people spend their lives unconsciously moving toward comfort. If something feels difficult, they avoid it. If something feels uncomfortable, they delay it. Over time, this habit quietly shapes their life. Opportunities are missed, potential remains untouched, and progress slows down. Not because they are incapable, but because they train themselves to escape discomfort. But the people who truly transform their lives develop a different relationship with discomfort. Instead of seeing it as a signal to stop, they begin to recognize it as a signal that something important is happening. Discomfort often means you are stepping outside the boundaries of who you used to be. Every time you choose the harder action, you are doing more than completing a task. You are reshaping your identity. You are proving to yourself that comfort does not control your decisions. that progress matters more than temporary ease. At first, this habit feels unnatural. Your mind will resist it. It will search for excuses and justifications. But the more often you practice choosing the uncomfortable action, the more normal it becomes. What once felt difficult begins to feel like part of who you are. Over time, these choices begin to compound. One difficult action leads to another. Small improvements start stacking on top of each other, and slowly, the person you are becoming begins to look very different from the person you used to be. This is why mastering the habit of doing uncomfortable things consistently is so powerful. It removes the limits that comfort quietly places on your life. Instead of avoiding growth, you begin moving directly toward it, one decision at a time. Many people spend their lives waiting to feel motivated before they take action. They believe that motivation is the force that creates discipline. They wait for the day when they wake up feeling inspired, energized, and ready to work hard. But that day rarely comes as often as they expect. The truth is that motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes like a wave, and if your progress depends on it, your progress will always be inconsistent. There will be days when you feel excited about your goals. On those days, working feels easy, you have energy, focus, and determination. But there will also be many days when you feel tired, distracted, or unmotivated. If your actions are controlled by how you feel in those moments, then most of your important work will never get done. This is why discipline is not about motivation. Discipline is about building a system where your actions no longer depend on your mood. A system is something that guides your behavior automatically. It removes the need to constantly make decisions about whether you should work or not. Instead of asking yourself every day if you feel like doing something, the system simply expects it from you. It becomes part of your routine. For example, someone who relies only on motivation might exercise whenever they feel inspired. Some weeks they might train several times, and other weeks they might do nothing at all. But someone who builds a system decides in advance when they will train. It becomes a fixed part of their schedule, like brushing their teeth or going to work. The power of systems is that they reduce the mental resistance that often stops people from taking action. When something becomes a habit built into your daily structure, you no longer spend energy debating with yourself. You simply follow the process. Over time, this creates consistency, and consistency is far more powerful than occasional bursts of motivation. Small actions performed regularly create steady progress, even when you don't feel excited or inspired. Another powerful effect of systems is that they protect you from your worst days. Everyone experiences moments of low energy, stress, or doubt. But when you have a system in place, you continue moving forward even during those difficult periods. Your routine carries you through when motivation disappears. In the long run, the people who succeed are rarely the ones who feel motivated every day. They are the ones who built structures around their life that make progress inevitable. Relying on systems instead of emotions, they create a steady path toward their goals, regardless of how they feel on any particular day. Most people underestimate the power of small actions because they focus too much on immediate results. When they start something new, they expect to see quick progress. They expect visible change, fast improvement, and clear rewards. But the truth is that the most meaningful transformations in life happen quietly and slowly through actions that seem almost insignificant in the moment. A single small action rarely feels life-changing. Waking up early one day does not suddenly make you successful. Reading 10 pages of a book will not instantly make you knowledgeable. One workout will not completely transform your body. Because the results are not immediate, many people start believing that these small efforts don't really matter. But what they fail to see is that these actions are not working alone. They are working together, day after day, slowly building momentum beneath the surface. Every time you repeat a positive action, you are sending a signal to yourself about the kind of person you are becoming. When you choose to work on your goals instead of wasting time, you are reinforcing the identity of someone who is focused and disciplined. When you choose learning over distraction, you begin shaping the identity of someone who values growth. These small choices may not look dramatic, but they are quietly reshaping how you see yourself. Identity is powerful because once you start believing something about who you are, your behavior begins to align with that belief. If you start seeing yourself as someone who is consistent and reliable, you naturally begin acting in ways that support that identity. The small actions that once required effort slowly become normal parts of your routine. Over time, these daily behaviors compound in ways that most people never expect. A few minutes of improvement every day turns into hours of skill development over months. Small amounts of discipline create stronger focus, better habits, and greater self-control. The results may not be visible immediately, but they are building quietly in the background. Then one day, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. The person who stayed consistent begins to stand out. Their confidence is stronger. Their knowledge is deeper. Their discipline feels natural rather than forced. What looks like a sudden transformation from the outside is actually the result of hundreds of small actions repeated consistently over time. The quiet habits that seemed ordinary eventually shape an extraordinary future, proving that the smallest daily choices often carry the greatest long-term impact. Every day, whether people realize it or not, they face a quiet battle. It is not a battle against other people or against the outside world. It is a battle within their own mind, a battle between the part of them that wants growth and the part that wants comfort. The difference between the people who transform their lives and those who remain stuck often comes down to who wins that small daily battle. Distraction has become one of the most powerful forces working against progress. The modern world offers endless ways to escape effort. A few minutes on your phone can easily turn into hours. One short break can slowly turn into a day of procrastination. Entertainment, notifications, and constant stimulation pull attention away from the things that truly matter. At the same time, comfort is always available. Choosing comfort in the moment feels harmless. Skipping one workout does not seem like a big deal. Delaying one task feels easy to justify. Telling yourself you will start tomorrow seems reasonable, but these choices slowly build patterns, and patterns shape the direction of a person's life. Procrastination often disguises itself as something logical. People tell themselves they will begin when the timing feels better, when they feel more ready, or when they have more energy. In reality, procrastination is rarely about timing. It is about avoiding the discomfort that comes with effort and responsibility. The individuals who truly change their lives learn how to recognize this pattern and break it. They understand that success is not created through rare moments of extraordinary effort. Instead, it is built through small daily victories over distraction and delay. Winning the daily battle does not mean being perfect. It means being aware of the choices in front of you and choosing progress more often than comfort. It means catching yourself when your attention begins to drift and bringing it back to the task that matters. It means starting even when you feel resistance. Each time you overcome distraction and take action, you strengthen your ability to focus and follow through. Over time, this ability becomes one of the most valuable skills you can develop. The world is full of opportunities for those who can concentrate, stay disciplined, and continue moving forward while others remain stuck in cycles of delay. Repeatedly choosing focus over distraction and action over procrastination, a person slowly separates themselves from the crowd. The difference may seem small at first, but as days turn into months and months turn into years, those small daily wins accumulate into a life defined by progress, growth, and meaningful achievement. In the end, changing your life is not about discovering a secret shortcut or waiting for the perfect moment. It is about mastering a simple habit that most people overlook. The habit of showing up and doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Your future is not built in a single dramatic decision. It is built in the quiet choices you make every day. The choice to focus when distractions are everywhere. The choice to act when procrastination feels easier. The choice to continue when comfort is calling you back. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you move one step closer to the person you are capable of becoming. Those small decisions may not feel powerful in the moment, but over time they shape your character, your confidence, and the direction of your entire life. The people who eventually stand out are not always the most talented or the most fortunate. They are the ones who refuse to let their moods control their actions. They are the ones who learn to win the small battles that happen every single day. Because once you develop the habit of consistent action, something incredible begins to happen. You stop doubting yourself. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop starting over again and again. Instead, you begin building momentum that carries you forward. And momentum is powerful. It turns small progress into meaningful change. It turns ordinary days into a powerful foundation for an extraordinary future. So if there is one thing worth committing to, it is this: learn to master your habits, protect your attention, and take action even when it feels uncomfortable. Because the moment you truly control your daily actions is the moment you begin to control your life. Master that one habit, and step by step, decision by decision, you will begin to build a future that once felt impossible.